Generals, gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to another match of StarCraft II. Woo!
Heart of the Swarm.
What?
Heart of the Swarm.
StarCraft II Heart of the Swarm.
You have to mention Heart of the Swarm. People get butthurt because
It's true,
this
I
wins
do.
Liberty. Ugh.
I really do.
Yeah.
I'm MilkJooce and I'm joined by the lovely... I was about to call you Ponage Machine.
I would get hell butthurt if you did.
Joined by the lovely Onage Machine of...
Generals, gentlemen. I mean, I get really self-conscious when people are like, "What's your username?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's Ownage Machine, but with a P." And they're like, "So Ponage Machine." I'm like, "No, Ownage Machine, but spelled
Can
with
you
a P."
even pronounce Leet, bro?
Like at RFlan when they ask for my ticket name. But now it's kind of got to the stage where they just kind of know my name. They know that it's spelled with a P. So no need to be territorial anymore.
It's always good when people actually know things.
Yeah. I'm like regular. Anyway, we do in fact have LiquidTLO as the Zerg on the south of Cloud Kingdom.
And up in the north, we have FaiLo.
FaiLo. Cool.
Which is always a good name. It's always indicative of what's to come.
I'm actually quite excited because this is probably the first shoutcast we have done thus far where the names aren't completely stupid.
Oh my god. They're actually pronounceable.
Yeah, you can actually say them without sounding like you have autism.
Even if it's... Because with TLO, you can even say LiquidTLO. That's
Tlo.
Pronounceable.
It sounds cool. It's slow, you know, it's
You can have
smooth, it's
DR
suave.
FaiLo, which is nice.
Yeah, for those of you who didn't actually tune in to one of our earlier casts, there was a Protoss player called Ooh. And so for the entire shoutcast, I was literally referring to him as Ooh, and it was degrading.
We still don't know if it was I.
Yeah,
Or-
it might have been capitalized. We don't know. But anyway, we do have both players going for their very early expo. Nothing fishy just yet.
This is very big for ZVT, because early expos is very risky against Zerg, because you could just get rushed, could just go 6-pull so very easily. But no, he's going for that ever-important expand.
Yeah, whenever I play against Zerg, I always just go for like a 5 racks opening and just balls out Marines because I like doing that.
It's always a safer
And-
choice than going early expand, because early expand is very hit and miss.
Well, not always, but my way of playing Terran is like if the Zerg builds more than 20 drones, I lose the game.
Yeah,
So I'm exaggerating, of course, but
exactly.
yeah. I like being aggressive. I just think it's more fun, especially as Terran, where you kind of have to be aggressive because then, either Protoss death balls or Zerg just like macros their way with 15 hatcheries and you lose.
Yeah, so we're seeing TLO seeing the early expand and responding with a little bit of a spawning pool.
A little bit, as opposed to a big.
Well, I mean, he could have... I don't know where I was going with that.
Yeah. Anyway, we do have double gas from FaiLo, so going to be going for a very early gas build, and we didn't actually see that scouting overlord from LiquidTLO actually scout that. So TLO has no idea of this gas-heavy build, and without any scouting drone, he will not scout this anytime soon, so that could go very badly for
FaiLo
Liquid.
still hasn't scouted TLO either, so...
No, that's actually weird, yeah. When people at this level, you think that they always scout, because it's a pretty important thing to do.
I mean...
But some players, they get in the mindset that, like, no matter what they scout, they will still do the same build. So therefore, what's the point of them scouting?
Sometimes it works, but in this case, given that he's going early expand, I would have definitely sent a scout out just to see what was coming.
Anyway, so we do have a reactor go down with a factory, so I would definitely say we're going to see some early Hellions.
Which is always good.
Right.
Always good, especially against any Zerg, because Zerglings can't take on Hellions that great.
Not really. It's not exactly a ideal situation when, Zergling kind of get burnt by stuff, by Hellions.
So we're seeing TLO do a little bit of a turtling sort of strategy. Given that FaiLo went for the early expand, I think he's in the mentality that he can't expect anything too soon. So he's just sort of slowly working his way up, going very macro heavy right now.
Interesting. And we aren't actually seeing any Zergling speed, so it doesn't look like LiquidTLO is going for any kind of Ling opening. Probably going for roaches, I would say. Otherwise, he definitely would have got speed thus far.
Something...
Actually, just kidding.
Oh, there it is.
I'm a retard. He's getting speed now.
There it is.
He didn't have the gas to get speed until just now. But generally, Zergs, when they go for that Ling opening, they like to get the gas really early to get that speedlings up really fast. Because now it's going to be too late, because with these Hellions opening, these slowlings are going to be absolutely terrible against these Hellions.
In fact, we just saw that just then. Just one Hellion just so very easily taking on that Zergling.
So now this these two Hellions could do a bit of a run by, but it looks like we do have LiquidTLO going for that wall off with the double Evo and the Spine Crawler, so you can just send a Queen in the middle to actually box that off, and that can completely shut down any kind of Hellion run bys, but at the very least it is kind of forcing him into less drones.
Indeed. We're going to see the Hellions not try to push.
Because it can't, because there's Queens
Well,
and
I mean,
scary
you could
stuff.
try. You could try just going in as fast as possible, getting down the worker line, but, I mean, you know.
Yeah. FaiLo does scout that third
Ooh.
hatch, and the third hatch will go down very soon, and we do actually have double eBay from Dr. FaiLo, getting those double upgrades, getting Stim +1 and +1 armor when he gets the gas, I would imagine.
Yeah, definitely. You're going to definitely want to get
Fury has
those
gas.
upgrades if you're going up against Banelings. But has he actually scouted yet? He still hasn't scouted to find out what he's up against.
What?
FaiLo.
or-
FaiLo still hasn't scouted.
Well, he can't really. I mean, unless he scans, he's not going to be able to scout because he was TLO to ward off his base, so he can't really scout unless he scans, which people don't like doing because scanning is a waste of a mule.
It is a waste
basically.
of free minerals.
Anyway, we do have TLO actually using both of these Evos, getting that +1 melee weapons and the +1 carapace. So it looks like TLO is definitely investing in these medevacs, but we do actually have a Hellbat drop from Dr. FaiLo unloading in the worker line, taking down several of these lings, and then probably going to go for the workers, but there's the Queen there, as well as these, quite a fair bit of speedlings now.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing... can the speedlings around?
Nice micro. They may actually lose the medevac with the two Hellbats inside. Had he just left the Hellbats down there, they would have probably killed all of those lings. So that actually went really, really badly for FaiLo.
Yeah, that was not a good lift on his behalf. Yeah.
Because Hellbats are just so good against lings. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, even since the beta, Hellbats, they're just great. They've just been amazing.
They're pretty fantastic. Anyway, we do have another Hellbat drop from Dr. FaiLo, but actually will go right past all of these creep tumors. So now TLO knows exactly what's happening, but he will not actually reposition his lings in time, and as a result, he will lose several of these drones.
Yeah, that was a bit of a... I don't know how I feel about that drop either, because he did just go right through...
Does it offend you?
A little bit. He did just go right through all those overseers.
Yeah, I definitely think TLO should have responded to that, but actually, look at these drones. They're losing all of their mining time. So this is a very effective drop from FaiLo, despite not actually killing much. But now the medevac does go down, so these Hellbats will die in a matter of seconds, but just taking out so many lings. They are so effective against lings. So effective!
And we're seeing...
Oh, but actually, if we do look at this, we do see a push from the front of FaiLo, going to maybe even deny this fourth hatch from LiquidTLO, doing quite a fair bit of damage, but once again, getting caught by these lings, and the banelings will rock up in
But
time.
the banelings decide, no, not yet.
TLO getting, Dr. FaiLo rather, getting into that mineral patch to avoid the surround by the lings, so the splash damage does as much as it possibly can, and we are seeing +2 going down from both players at those double Evos and double Ebos.
The fact that TLO is getting this fourth up while FaiLo is still only at 2 is actually really bad for FaiLo at this stage.
He's definitely falling behind. He was really committing to these drops, which they were good, but I don't think it really justified the fact that he set back his economy.
Yeah, he
so
could have
much.
executed them much better, but yeah, it was just a bit unfortunate on his behalf.
And we do see there is a gap of 20 drones almost on TLO's behalf. So definitely the TLO will macro his way ahead of this unless Dr. FaiLo does some really crazy stuff, which he actually looks like he might. He does have quite a large army. Units. Yeah, we do see. I don't even know how to do this. How do I look at the armies of stuff?
Be professional. Be professional.
I refuse to be professional. I'm going to be a noob forever.
Oh, okay. Well, the army's slowly moving out, going down the second ramp. But,
and now basically TLO just has so many lings, so many banelings, and it looks like he could intercept this very well. But there's just, a lot of Marines that will not do very well against that number of banelings.
He's placing down a winnow mine in a very interesting location.
And he's in that perfect splash, but look at the banelings will try and commit to that. Banelings are going in, and will they do much? No, they will not. The Marines getting out of there, letting the Hellbats and the Marauder take damage from the banelings. Good micro there. And actually now, once again, kiting away.
Oh, the winnow mine! Done it
Did you
again.
see that winnow mine?
Oh, wow.
That winnow mine's just, I think it killed approximately 15,000 banelings, I would say.
Approximately?
Approximately. I'm no mathematician.
Well, I am, and I would say.
Yeah. Yes.
So we're seeing FaiLo just retreat a little bit.
Yeah.
There are just so many lings there.
There's a lot of things. TLO did actually ward off that push very well, and basically the problem with that push is it was kind of it was a good exchange for Dr. FaiLo, but it wasn't a good exchange in the fact that it's now 4 base against just a third now. So the macro from TLO is absolutely out of control, and we are seeing +3 upgrades from TLOs. We're even getting infestors now, as well as
It's just a good place for TLO right now.
golly gosh, we have a hive tech. So actually even getting the adrenal gland. So these speedlings are going to be absolutely crazy. Here come the banelings now with that speed upgrade. It's probably going to do quite a fair bit of damage if it actually lands on these marines. Dr. FaiLo has to probably micro this very well, splitting up his marines. And actually look at that split.
The banelings are not very effective.
That split was very good work there, minimizing the splash damage from those banelings. And now actually looks like FaiLo will kill all of these drones as well as that 4th. So this push is exactly what FaiLo needed, because now probably put him back in the game.
Now, we do see a rather large disparity in supply right now between FaiLo and TLO.
Yes.
Which is actually really interesting, because I would have thought it'd be the other way
around. Look at this run by. We have several of these cracklings actually just killing down all of these FCVs. And calling down mules at a really bad time.
Yeah, it's definitely going well for TLO.
Yeah.
But FaiLo is doing a very good job of retaliating.
And now here come the lings. They get caught by this bio army. These infestors may actually catch the bio army out of position, so they cannot kite against these lings. So he definitely needs to split his army up. Once again, splitting up. The splitting up from FaiLo is really mitigating the damage from the fungals and the banelings, but it just is not enough because there's just so many lings, so much stuff, and that is what happened. That's what happens when you just let your opponent macro like crazy. But now we do have another push coming out with a whole bunch of wooden mines this time around, splitting up once again. But we have ultras. Ultras are on the field, and they will have +3 very soon.
These Hellbats.
We're going to need a whole bunch more Marauders or even Thors to actually deal with this, and that's not going to happen. Wooden mines are pretty good against Ultras as well, though, but will they actually land? Yeah, doing a fair bit of damage, but not really enough. It actually looks like the Marines will just muscle their way through because there's just that many of them.
And the Marines are definitely upgraded to hell at this point. So,
yeah, well, they're even upgrades at the moment.
Yeah, they won't die from a Baneling hit. So it'll require at least 2.
But actually, look like the Marines are getting caught. They're getting cornered.
Oh, this is not good.
But it looks like actually lifting all of the Marines, avoiding them from dying. But those Ultras were actually pretty weak. So maybe that wasn't a good idea. But when you're that cornered, the splash damage from the Ultras can just turn the tide so fast.
Yeah, and Ultras can definitely just trap you in the worst of places, just like that.
And now we do have another Ling run-by, so LiquidTLO has been so effective when these run-bys, just killing so many of these FCVs of Dr. FaiLo, so he's definitely making this really work. And we have an Ultra pushed in the middle, but those Ultras were so weak and got decimated as a result. But with no kiting at all, the Marines were just getting mopped up so much faster than they should have been had they actually been kiting.
Yeah, we're seeing a little bit of drone transference, which is always important in the long run.
But I think the problem with that push is not only was not enough lings, but there wasn't creep. So Ultras off creep without lings, you can just kite them so easily. You really need lings to soak the damage up.
Yeah, if you can just stay away from Ultras, they just pose no threat at all. But
yeah, pretty much.
As soon as you surround your enemy, you're fucked.
And now we do see +3 having gone down for Dr. FaiLo, so he could make this push work very effectively. But now we do have another Ling run by, and Dr. FaiLo is not leaving any bunkers, but it looks like the fungal growth will actually catch all of this bio out of position, so the Ultras will actually close that, but the Widow Mines combined with the bio will just absolutely melt down the Ultras in a matter of seconds, forcing the retreat.
And it looks like he's going for a little bit of a high ground play here and trying to take out all those workers from above.
Which he is, yeah, and losing all of his FCVs to this Ling run by, but the Ultras will initiate once again, and the Fungal is catching out some of the Marines, but alas...
And that is a lot of units to lose for FaiLo.
Yeah, too many scary stuff, and I was looking at the income once again,
the Queen's going for the the medevacs going down.
Oh no, losing more and more units, but unfortunately, despite the fact that TLO is now on even bases to FaiLo, he just lost so many of these FCBs to his Ling run-bys. That definitely turned the game around when he lost worker line after worker line over and over again, because he had no way of actually defending against his Ling run-bys, which he is now. He's getting his bunker, getting his supply wall off, but it is too late. The damage was already done.
Yeah, TLO is definitely doing a really good job of suppressing him wherever he can.
Yeah, which is awesome seeing a Zerg player be aggressive instead of just a Terran player doing everything.
Exactly, yeah.
And we are seeing an Overseer go down, just for some scouting I would say, but actually it looks like the Banelings, Infestors, Ultras, and Lings are pushing into the base, and those Banelings are very effective at taking down the supplies, and now the Widow Mines, they weren't burrowed in time, they're burrowed now, but once again losing all of the FCs, but this time to Ultras. Will the Marines be able to kite their way out of this into the Widow Mines, taking down all of those Lings? So actually really good micro there from FaiLo, keeping his units alive with the Widow Mines, with the kiting, but once again, it's just not enough because the workers have already died.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing a lot of... this aggression is really good for TLO, purely because he can just destroy his economy.
Yeah, he's just macroing behind us. He's just getting more and more drones, more and more Lings, more and more Ultras, and he's definitely containing FaiLo into these 3 bases, and eventually they will get exhausted. We do even see a couple of Lings in the main base of Dr. FaiLo, as well as even the natural. So he's actually just being so aggressive, which is awesome for us to see a Zerg player do.
Now, we're seeing a very large army very slowly try to clear out all these Zerglings, but I reckon it's going to be a while before FaiLo can bring it back.
Yeah, and we do even have Vipers on the field, so I would say that is to actually use the Abduct into the Medivacs if he tries to drop, because it can be so brutal just seeing like a really awesome drop be abducted and just instantly pooped on.
Yeah, and also just to bring the Medivacs just away from your units.
Yeah, so you can't heal them, you can't retreat, you can't do the maneuver we saw earlier where they get cornered and so you just pop them in a medevac and run away.
Exactly. It's completely changed the game.
Will happen.
The Vipers.
So now Dr. FaiLo is pushing out, and he really has to make this push work because there's no way out macroing this. If he cannot win this engagement, I do not think he can take the game. But splitting up his army in between the workers and the Ultras, and now the Lings will try and catch down these Marines out of position. Once again,
he's got
the
one of the
medevac.
Medivacs.
Yay! And just getting... Yeah, this bar is getting absolutely pooped on. There's just so much stuff, and he's just walking past the Ultras.
Oh, no.
Oh, dear. But we do, in fact, have Dr. FaiLo getting his 4th with that command center float over the cliff, and actually looks like LiquidTLO will move past that, ignoring it completely.
Just TLO has currently got the upper hand purely because of the macro.
Yep. And I think that is what the 7th Ling run by, taking out the worker line in that 3rd once again.
He's just got so many units. There's nothing that FaiLo can really do at this point to come back.
I don't think so.
And he's using the Viper to bring up the Ultras into his main.
I didn't know you could do that. That is awesome.
That is ingenious.
It's official. Vipers are now my new favorite unit. How you doing?
They're just so versatile. Completely changed the game, man. Completely changed the game.
It's just so, like, unrealistic. Just seeing an Ultraless just be thrown up a cliff. Oh, wow.
That was good.
I enjoyed that.
That was very
See,
smart.
now I'm wearing my happy pants because of that, like, single play right there.
That single Viper. It's made your day.
It has. It's made my week. Anyway, so back to the game. I think it was really looking bad for Dr. FaiLo because those drops were not working at all. But then there was that really crucial push that put him back in the game, and it was going well for Dr. FaiLo until he just lost worker line after worker line to these really good Ling run-bys in his 3rd.
TLO knew that if he just stayed steady with his 4th base, he would just be able to completely smash him. But unfortunately, FaiLo couldn't really do anything about it because at that stage, he was so huge.
Such great micro with all of his bio splits, but it was not enough to overpower the huge, endless hordes of the swarm. So well done, LiquidTLO, once again being a baller, taking the game, taking the glory, taking the females, all of your die-hard groupies.
All of those female Vipers.
All of them. There's like at least 3 of them.
That thing that comes out, that is not what you think it is.
What?
I don't even know.
Okay, so wrapping up, we do in fact have myself, Orange Machine, and MilkJooce, and we will be casting the StarCraft II tournament at RFlan this weekend. So be sure to be attentive, be very, very loyal to us, because we will reward you with epic shoutcasting, I certainly hope.
And it's going to be live streamed, so you can chat to us, we can chat to you, as long as you have a Twitch TV account, which if you don't at this stage, I don't know why you exist.
It's not very hard to get one.
I don't mean to offend anyone by saying that you need to get one, but if you don't have one, really, just come on.
Anyway, I think that'll sum up any last words for today, so goodbye.
See ya.